Would you like to be able to teach yourself or your students to improve their articulation on the trumpet? Would you like to have better pop in your articulation where the most brilliant tone quality speaks right at the very beginning of the note? Here are some tips for improving articulation on the trumpet. Welcome back to another episode in a treasure trove of tried and true trumpet tips. One of the first things I tell my students in helping them improve their articulation is to have them say the phrase, "How you doing? How you doing?" You want to use that dental D or dental T sound where the tip of the tongue hits right up against the back of the upper front teeth. If you've never seen the show Friends, check out the link below that'll take you to a compilation of clips in which Joey uses that dental D sound. Most of the time in beginning bands, students are told to tongue by saying either ta or da. Try saying the T and the D syllable a few times and notice where the tip of the tongue strikes the roof of your mouth. Ta 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 ta, da 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 da. Most likely your tongue hits right around the alveolar ridge on the roof of your mouth. For improved articulation, you want to use that dental D, like how you doing? How you doing? In the diagram shown here, you'll see that the tip of the tongue instead goes farther forward and it goes right up into that corner where the roof of your mouth meets the upper front teeth. Now this same tongue position is generally also achieved when we say the syllable L. La 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 la. Try that. La 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 la. Do you feel your tongue hitting right up in that corner where your upper teeth meets the roof of your mouth? When we play the trumpet and we tongue using that regular D or T syllable, where the tip of the tongue is striking right at about the alveolar ridge, we get a sound something like this. Now that's not too bad, but I've found that when we move the tongue farther forward, we're generally able to create a better seal and we get better pop in the articulation. Duh, duh, duh. Now, just to give you another example of a common mistake I see in students, they actually get their tip of the tongue between the front teeth, like in the following diagram. You'll see here that the tongue actually goes between the teeth and often touches the back of the lips when tonguing, almost as in the TH sound, like the. On the trumpet, it comes out sounding like this. Again, not the end of the world. What happens is the tongue touches the back of the lips and completely stops any vibration going on there. It also interrupts the airflow and greatly limits range and endurance. If you're not used to tonguing this way, this may feel really awkward and foreign at first. However, with a little bit of practice, you'll get used to it very quickly and you'll find out how effective it really is. Another thing you can do when practicing this to really know that you've got a good, effective articulation is to play very, very short notes and make sure that you're achieving a brilliant sound right at the very beginning of the note. So what I like to do is have my students do a shaky shake exercise so as to find their most brilliant tone quality. And then start a really short note and make sure that they get that tone quality in that very short amount of time. Commonly, students will have a little bit of a delay or a little bit of a swell getting to that brilliant tone quality, like this. If that's the case, then all they're going to get is a really thin tone in that short amount of time that they have for this little staccato note. Instead, once again, go for that brilliant tone quality and make sure that that tone happens right at the very beginning of each note. Another thing that I have found that's really important in order to be able to get this brilliance to happen right at the very beginning of the note is that the lips must start from a closed position. Try saying the sound B, B. Now say, how you doing, or duh, duh. Now put that B sound and that D sound together into a hybrid duh. They must happen simultaneously. D, D. It's not d-b or b-duh. It's d, d, d. They must be synchronized perfectly. This tends to be an uncomfortable syllable to use because it's definitely not used in the English language, and I don't know of any other languages in which it's used. But when you do d on the trumpet, it tends to come out speaking really nicely. D. Another little trick you can use to improve your articulation is to simply think of spitting. Try going outside and seeing how far you can launch a spit. In order to do so, you've got to have a good seal and good compression inside of your mouth immediately prior to the release of the saliva. It also makes you form your lips in a certain way and leads to a cleaner articulation. So you think of going. Really good way to get some good pop in your articulation. So to recap now, not so great articulation, regular old ta or da. Really bad articulation when the tongue goes underneath and between the teeth. Good articulation, duh. So there you go. That's how I teach articulation on the trumpet. It tends to lead to good pop and good front and good clarity and immediacy of great tone quality at the beginning of every single note. Try it out. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed that. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more trumpet content. See you next time.